Oh my gosh! Hey, welcome to my YouTube channel. Do I sound like a real person on here? I don't know. I can't get past that. But anyway, I'm here, y'all. I'm here. I have been so busy the past couple of months with traveling. You know, going to Vegas for the Cheer Choice Awards, which I won. And then going to Florida for my niece's wedding. Honey, I have been traveling. Okay? Traveling. I do have a surprise for y'all. Guess what? In just a few weeks, I'm going to Tennessee and I'm going to be on Bunny XO's podcast, and we love her, honey. We love her. She is a girl's girl, and one thing I love about Bunny is that her podcast is like in the charts, like way up there because she's so good. So good. And you know, her podcast is like XR, X-rated, RRR. And she has a way of like getting stuff out of people. She's an excellent host. Sorry, my eyeballs are going to be watering the entire time. Ever since COVID, I've had a headache all day and my eyes have constantly watered all day, every day. Okay? But like I was saying, one thing I love about Bunny is that she gets things out of people without even pressuring them. She's really a girl's girl, and you just feel like you're already her friend, like you've been friends for years and like you've known each other. And I love that about her, and I'm so excited. But here's the thing. You know, y'all know me as Mama Tot, Ophelia, Opie, like whatever you want to call me. But, you know, everybody's got, you know, stories they're not proud of, things they've done in the past when they're teenagers, young 20s. I mean, you name it, we've all got some stories. So I'm literally going to get on there and I'm going to tell everything. Oh, don't stop me, honey, okay? I am going to tell everything because I'm so excited about this. And I think it would be like a cool thing for people to really, you know me, like, you know, all my sins. You know, I'm certainly not perfect and I ain't never going to be perfect. But I think it'd be really neat for people to see me in that kind of light. You know what I mean? So I'm excited about that. I think I fly out on the 14th. I don't know. I got Lissa. Y'all know she helps me with everything. I got her to handle everything for me. And I am going to stay an extra day because I'm taking my oldest child, Gibson, with me. So, yes, I've been very, very busy. Very busy. Y'all know I'm full-time at home now, and I'm quite bored, okay, which is wonderful because now I actually have time to do something with my YouTube page. Like, I legit have time now. So me and Lissa are going to work together and see if we can make this page cool and fun and therapeutic and, you know, relatable. Number one, that's very important to me. And I think that's why a lot of people feel connected to me because I am relatable. I'm just a normal person. I live here in Mobile, Alabama. I'm nothing special. I just have a lot of followers, and that's literally about it. But I'm excited about everything. Yeah, I'm excited. We just recorded an episode of the podcast that came out Saturday. If you don't know about the podcast, the name of it is called Tot Talks, T-O-T, Tot Talks. And we kind of talk about everything, like everything. And it sounds like three girlfriends on the phone with one another just talking about life. Funny stories, traumatic stories, you know, everything that everybody goes through, you know. We pretty much all go through like similar situations in our life because at the end of the day, we all kind of want everything the same. We want to be loved. We don't want to be alone. We want a good career. We want to be successful. You know, that's pretty much what everybody wants in life, you know. Anyway, I did finish, look at me, I'm making a mess, honey. I did finish reading, one of the best books ever, okay? Laura Clary's new book, Idiots. If you have not read the first one, it's called Idiot. Please read this one. It is absolutely fantastic. I love it. Yeah, I love it. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. I laughed, I cried, I was shocked. I related to her stories. Y'all have no idea. It's literally like one of the best books. So one of the things that I wanted to like talk about today is I've got to tell y'all what is really like on my mind lately. I have no idea why. My mother I know, shocker, my mother. I don't know why. I don't know why, but she is. And I don't know if it's the universe trying to tell me something or alert me, or if it's the good Lord. I don't know, because I just can't pinpoint it. Why all of a sudden she has been on my mind, but I think there's a story there, and I think there is a reason for that. And I'm stuck. So it's not like I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning and be like, oh, let me call her, because I don't even have her phone number. For those of you that don't know, I have not seen or spoken to my mother in 15 years. That's by choice. She is getting older in age. You know, she's in her 70s now. I have managed to protect myself and my children, you know, all these years without her. My life has been quite peaceful, other than, you know, when I was working at that furniture store, which is a whole nother scenario. But that was about like the only time since I walked out of my mother's life. The time during the furniture store, last 3 years, my life was so peaceful until I got to that point right there. And it triggered me traumatically, because the owner of that company reminded me so much of my mother. Everything she did, the things that she would say, the way that she acted, the evil things that she would do to the employees. It was horrific, okay? And I was triggered almost on a weekly basis because of that person. So when I left that company, it was, again, like a relief for me, because when I walked out of my mama's life, it was a relief for me. Like, I woke up the next day and literally told myself in the mirror, I don't have to be hurt again. I don't have to go through this again. I don't have to deal with somebody lying on me. I mean, the stories my mother would tell people in my family, the fact that anybody would ever believe them is shocking to me. It's shocking to me. I still to this day just don't understand why they wouldn't have like reached out to me and say, hey, is this true? They didn't. They just chose to believe it, which again is a whole nother situation. But, you know, my life was simple. It was simple, and it was easy, and it was peaceful. You know, I might not have, you know, a bunch of money or a big, beautiful home or anything like that, but my bills are paid. My husband's good to me. My children are happy and healthy. I think that's enough to make anybody rich personally, you know. But when I worked at that store, it put me into such a, I'm going to explain it like this, and I hope somebody understands this. To deal with what I was dealing with 6 days out of the week at that place, I was coming home and drinking a bottle of wine by myself. I almost turned myself into an alcoholic until I literally woke up one day. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. I better quit doing this, because I might be going down a path and opening up a whole nother chapter of my life I didn't ask for. So, you know, I quit. And now you'll just see me occasionally have a glass of wine or a, you know, cold beer on the river or something. But I was trying to escape from what I was being dealt with through that company, you know. And for a normal person that does not have trauma that came straight from their mother, they probably would have been able to handle something like that much better than I did. But being how I was raised and the home life that I had, that was just what I fell to. It's just what I fell to. Like, I legit came home every single night. So when I cut that off, then I got on antidepressants. I mean, I had to do something, because I was not okay. So the fact that I was able to leave that company and just be set free from it was legit a blessing to me, because it has been a while since I have been triggered by an individual that reminded me of my mother. And there's not been anybody else in the entire world in my 40 years of living that I have come across that reminded me of my mother than that woman in that store. I mean, the stories I could tell. So, you know, my life had been peaceful without my mother until that furniture store episode, and then now that I'm not there, so the past year has been peaceful. But for whatever reason is going on in my mind and in my heart, it's weighing on me. Now, don't get me wrong. I have forgiven my mother. Honey, I forgave her a long time ago. Absolutely. Water under the bridge. I just chose not to have her in my life. And there's a difference with that. You know, take my husband, for instance. You know, my husband does not forgive or forget. Like, if you do him wrong, that's it. You are cut off. You don't get a second chance. Bye. That's how my husband is. But for me, I'm quite different. I will forgive you instantly, no matter how small or big the situation was that hurt me. I'll forgive you instantly. So I did that like my entire life. My daddy was the same way. My daddy was the same way. And I was so traumatized growing up that I have suppressed a lot of those bad memories of the physical and mental abuse with her. And recently, a lot of it is coming up. Like, I'll just be driving down the road, minding my own daggum business, and a memory will come through my mind. Just out of nowhere. I don't know what that stems from. I don't know. I can smell a certain perfume, and that would be the perfume she wore. You know, Chanel No. 5. I cannot wear or smell that perfume without thinking of my mother. And it does not bring me into a happy light. You know, Mother's Day is coming up. And if I sat here and said that I do not think of my mother every Mother's Day, that would be a bald-faced lie. That would be a complete lie if I said that. I think of my mother every Christmas, every Mother's Day, every Easter, every holiday. I think of her. She runs through my mind. I wonder if she's doing okay. There's something on my nose. I wonder if she is doing okay. Does she think of me? Does she think of her other children? Is she healthy? You know, I think of all of these things, and I think that that is normal for any adult child after letting go of a family member like that. I mean, at the end of the day, we are human, and we do have feelings. Who is beeping the horn? Sorry about that. But I don't know. It's been weighing on me, and it's just been tugging at my heart lately, and I don't know why. And I would like to know, like, tell me your thoughts, because I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. So I want y'all to tell me your thoughts. Like, why do you think now it's kind of tugging on my heart that she's alone? You know, she doesn't really have family because she has alienated everybody around her, her entire family. You know, so I think of her like sitting in the chair in the living room all by herself. And I get sad about that. But I want to know what your thoughts are on it. You know, would you feel like that? Have you felt like that? You know I'm going to have a lot of people say, you know, I didn't talk to my dad for 10 years and he passed away. I wish I would have, you know, and I get that. I do get that. I do. But I feel like I cannot have my mother in my life because my mother is dangerous. My mother is dangerous. And I know that's a terrible thing to say, but if you knew the stories, man, what is, y'all, okay, I had a piece of cat hair. There we go. If you knew the stories and what my mother did and the terrible things that she did, you would completely understand. And you would be like, yes, Opie, I totally get it. I don't think I could have dealt with that. And the fact that I dealt with it by myself. You know, when I first met my now husband, you know, I tried to tell him how my mother was, and he didn't believe me. He said, there's no way. Like, you're exaggerating. Y'all just don't get along. That's what it... See, that's one thing is that it wasn't that me and my mother didn't get along. I can get along with anybody. It was that my mother just constantly wished me harm and loved to hear people talk about me and loved to lie on me and tell stories and call the police on me. And yeah, wait till you hear that story, honey. So when he met my mother, you know, she played the game. Very nice to him. You know, like she was a normal person. Like she was just a complete angel. And then something serious happened. And he walked in to my home when my mother did not know he was on the way. And my mother was showing her true colors. And my husband seen it for himself and understood. He never said another daggone word to me about not having a relationship with her. That was the last time that I had spoken to my mother, was a certain situation that she caused. And it was really bad. And my husband seen it for his own eyes and said, I'm sorry. I get it now. I apologize. You know, and all I could say was, I tried to tell you, you just didn't believe me. You just didn't believe me like everybody else. You know, I talk about Miss Jenny a lot in my TikToks. Miss Jenny was my childhood friend Sarah's mom, who played a huge part in my life growing up. She was wonderful. Like, wonderful. Miss Jenny would hear the stories from me and Sarah, okay, but never witnessed them herself until I became an adult. And something happened, and it opened up Miss Jenny's eyes, and Miss Jenny seen it and said, I had no idea it was this bad for you. You know, no wonder you constantly wanted to stay at our house. No wonder you never wanted to go home. No wonder, no wonder, no wonder. You know, it was like slowly but surely people were starting to see the things that she would do, you know. I remember Miss Jenny, when my dad died, we had just bought the house, you know. And my mother had, you know, 6 closets worth of clothes. You know, we were pretty well off, and my mama had a shopping problem and, you know, all that mess. And, you know, when he passed away, my mother's clothes were still in boxes, packed up in the living room and blah, 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 blah. You know, everywhere, all her stuff. Well, you know, after a funeral, people typically go back to somebody's house and have a funeral dinner, you know. And my mother didn't know what to do because she hadn't put all these things up. We hadn't, you know, decorated. We hadn't did any of that stuff to get the house organized because we'd just moved in. Like, literally, they just bought the house and he dies 3 weeks later. Now, my dad. And I remember I come home from school one day and Miss Jenny had come over to our home and hung all my mama's clothes up, put everything away for her, just did anything she could to help my mama out. Because I can empathize and sympathize with my mother. You know, her husband, you know, just passing away spur of the moment. You know, it was a shock to everybody. You know, unfortunately, my dad died of a heart attack while he was in St. Petersburg, Florida for a car auction because my daddy owned a car lot. So he was away. He wasn't even in Mobile, Alabama when he passed. He was in Florida. But she had come over there and did everything because my mother just couldn't get out of bed. My mother couldn't do anything. And I sympathize a great deal with that. Because God forbid something happened to my husband today, I don't know what I would do. Like I'm getting emotional thinking about it. I would just, I don't know. So I get, you know, why she was in that room for days and didn't want to come out, and I get that. But I remember coming home from school and everything had been done. Everything. The entire living room was done. My mother's closet was put together. Everything looked just right. And I walked around the corner and I seen Miss Jenny, you know, putting things up in my room. And I said, Miss Jenny, did you do all that? She said, I did. I come over here to see if I could help. And I thanked her and I gave her a hug. And, you know, because Miss Jenny was everything to me. She was everything that I needed in a mama. You know, I I wanted my mama to be my friend, but I also wanted her to be my mama. You know, somebody that I knew I could go to at any point in time. I never got that from her, but I did get that from Miss Jenny, you know. But Miss Jenny, there's a gnat in here. Miss Jenny was very good to us, and it's very sad because she could have been a great friend to my mama, but my mother she wasn't good to Miss Jenny. She would talk about her behind her back. She'd say mean things about her. It wasn't good. But I'll never forget Miss Jenny coming over there and helping like that, because we were able to, you know, have the dinner at our home after my daddy's funeral that day. You know, everybody brought food and we all sat down and ate and, you know, really spent time together talking about my dad, which was pretty much the last time that I've been around anybody that talked about my dad, because I don't have those family members in my life today, and I have not had those family members in my life since I was about 16 years old. Yeah. But anyway, that's just a little storytelling for you. But in the comments, I just want y'all to tell me, you know, what you think. Did you go through something like this? Did you walk away from a family member in your life and then, you know, something terrible happens and then you regretted it? Or something terrible happens and you had peace with it? You know, why now? Why now am I having those feelings? And I haven't spoken about this on, you know, my TikTok or Facebook or anything like that. I haven't spoken about any of this, so you guys are the first to hear about it. And I appreciate you listening. But I do think it is therapeutic and helpful to talk about. You know, I think of y'all as a community. I always have. And I would just like to know what you think about it. So I'm going to get the hang of this YouTube. Okay. Try to push out maybe 2 to 3 videos a week. At least 2. We're going to see how it works. I'm testing this out now. Okay. I'm testing this out now. And then we're going to see how it works. And then I also want y'all to tell me in the comments what kind of videos y'all want to see more of. So that I can give you that too. Because I ain't got anything else to do, honey. Okay? For anybody wondering, this is a cold Coca-Cola. A Coke Zero. Which I love. Anyway, I hope y'all have a beautiful day. Oh, y'all want some makeup? We can do some makeup tutorials. Y'all want to do that? Let's do it. Anyway, I love y'all. Bye.